So some big developments on the fourth stimulus package are being made. Top Democrats have announced that Biden administration has plans to pass new relief legislation, and this new bill will affect millions of people financially. You want to watch this entire video to never miss out on the most important stimulus check information. And folks, don't forget to subscribe. Here are some breaking news from the White House officials. The Biden administration is to propose legislation that would allow the federal and state agencies to go after oil companies and wholesale and retail sales practices. Top lawmakers have been criticizing the industry over price gouging and profiteering, as American voters express increasing concerns about the high prices of a wide range of consumer goods, including energy and food. Chuck Schumer said passing legislation to bring down retail gas prices is at the very top of the list. Schumer has teamed up with Nancy Pelosi to push this new legislation forward. Many have said that this bill would help many consumers and provide them with additional financial relief once it is enacted into law. Now, big oil companies have profiteered the marketplace, Nancy Pelosi said. She noted the companies and strong corporate profits over the past years. Pelosi stated that they are hoarding the windfall while keeping prices high at the pump. And according to the Automobile Association, the move comes as a gas price has surged in the wake of the ongoing prices. Despite recent falls, the average price of a gallon of gas is now over $4 in the country, up from $2.88 a year ago. Oil companies have enjoyed record profits as prices have soared. Exxon, the largest U.S. oil company, is expected to report record earnings on Friday, and Chevron recently reported the best 2 quarters the company has ever seen. Nancy Pelosi said the White House had discussed a holiday for federal gas taxes, but said there was no evidence that oil companies would pass those savings on to consumers. Oil companies are not alone in reporting huge surges in profits, even as consumers higher bills thanks to soaring inflation. An analysis of 100 leading U.S. companies found their net profits had risen by a median of 49%, and in one case by as much as 111,000%. The increases came even as prices rose, and average wage increases were eroded by rising inflation. Now that the tax filing deadline has passed, you can look forward to receiving your tax refund if you filed on time. If you filed a paper tax return and did not accept direct deposit, you can expect your check to arrive in the mail. If you filed electronically, you can start tracking your refund to your bank account after the IRS begins processing your tax return. Tracking your refund will also assure that your tax return has been accepted by the IRS and has not been rejected because of errors. The IRS usually issues tax refunds within 3 weeks, but some taxpayers can have to wait a little longer to receive their payments. Now, if there are any errors in your tax return, the wait could be lengthy. The date you receive your tax refund depends on the method used to file your return. If your tax refund goes into your bank account via direct deposit, it could take an additional 5 days for your bank to put the money in your account. This means if it takes the IRS full 21 days to issue your check and your bank 5 days to deposit it, you could be waiting a total of 26 days to get your tax refund.
Upward pressure on inflation. And COVID-related lockdowns in China are likely to further exacerbate supply chain disruptions as well. Russia's invasion of Ukraine is causing tremendous loss and hardship, and our thoughts and sympathies are with the people of Ukraine. Our job is to consider the implications for the U.S. economy, which remain highly uncertain. In addition to the effects on inflation, the invasion and related events are likely to restrain economic activity abroad and further disrupt supply chains, creating spillovers to the U.S. economy through trade and other channels. The Fed's monetary policy actions are guided by our mandate to promote maximum employment and stable prices for the American people. My colleagues and I are acutely aware that high inflation imposes significant hardship, especially on those least able to meet the higher costs of essentials like food, housing, and transportation. We are highly attentive to the risks that high inflation poses to both sides of our mandate, and we're strongly committed to restoring price stability. Against the backdrop of the rapidly evolving economic environment, our policy has been adapting, and it will continue to do so. At today's meeting, the committee raised the target range for the federal funds rate by a half percentage point and stated that it anticipates that ongoing increases in the target range will be appropriate. We also decided to begin the process of reducing the size of our balance sheet, which will play an important role in firming the stance of monetary policy. We are on a path to move our policy rate expeditiously to more normal levels. Assuming that economic and financial conditions evolve in line with expectations, there is a broad sense on the committee that additional 50 basis point increases should be on the table at the next couple of meetings. We'll make our decisions meeting by meeting as we learn from incoming data and the evolving outlook for the economy. And we will continue to communicate our thinking as clearly as possible. Our overarching focus is using our tools to bring inflation back down to our 2% goal. With regard to our balance sheet, we also issued our specific plans for reducing our securities holdings. Consistent with the principles we issued in January, we intend to significantly reduce the size of our balance sheet over time in a predictable manner by allowing the principal payments from our securities holdings to roll off the balance sheet, up to monthly cap amounts. For Treasury securities, the cap will be $30 billion per month for 3 months and will then increase to $60 billion per month. The decline in holdings of Treasury securities under this monthly cap will include Treasury coupon securities, and to the extent that coupon securities are less than the monthly cap, Treasury bills. For agency mortgage-backed securities,
our ports have only been open during the week, Monday through Friday.
Now this is just in, the unemployment claims are unexpectedly rising. So as the crisis continues to worsen across the country, lawmakers are now in Congress and looking to passing into fourth stimulus checks as soon as this month of January. So even state governors are urging the Biden administration to send out more stimulus money for Americans that are financially struggling right now. And this is a win-win for pretty much everybody. Now folks, on this channel, I always do my very best in providing you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information. So it really means a lot to me if you could subscribe to my channel. Now according to the Labor Department, initial unemployment claims unexpectedly jumped to a total of 230,000 last week. It still remained low compared to the crisis era averages. And the Labor Department just released its latest weekly jobless claims report. Despite the rise in filings for the first time unemployment claims, jobless claims have held near or below the pre-crisis levels for more than a month. But many economists and lawmakers are worried about the slow economic recovery of the crisis. With the crisis making its way across the country and across many states and many cities, Americans are becoming more and more worried about their finances. According to several sources, further economic support must be passed by Congress as soon as possible, as soon as this month. All for the people of America and all for American businesses. Do you guys agree with that message? Do you believe that President Biden has to do all that it takes to send out the fourth stimulus check? The recent surge of the crisis is actually forcing thousands of people off work and putting them under big pressure. But the good news is that there is more stimulus money available to be claimed for by many people. People just have to be ready to receive the stimulus payments, folks, so comment down below if you're ready to receive more stimulus checks from the government. So the latest batch of stimulus payments from California is all heading out in the mail. Families who earn less than $75,000 and met other requirements will receive $600 payments, plus an extra $500 for dependents. In recent months, the California state government has been sending out stimulus checks to the families